But athletes do dumbass things if it improves their performance.
Up until the 1960s, athletes were advised not to drink water during exercise because they believed it would impair athletic performance. Now, I've done quite a few videos on banned techniques in track and field, but this one seemed quite strange, so I took a deeper look, and what I found is pretty interesting. So, we know the body's made up of 55 to 60% water, so common sense would tell us that we need to drink water to keep our body moving and functioning how it's supposed to. Now, I know in today's world it's kind of common sense that, yeah, drinking water improves performance, but that wasn't always the case. Now, where this really gets interesting is not the fact that it used to be frowned upon to drink water while exercising, but it's what came next. You see, in 1969, there was this article published in a major medical journal called "The Danger of an Inadequate Water Intake During Marathon Running." And this article, it highlighted the risks associated with insufficient water consumption during marathon races. And the author basically talked about the importance of proper hydration for endurance athletes, and they discussed the potential consequences of dehydration, such as poor performance and adverse health effects. And while this article itself was kind of monumental in creating this paradigm shift to talk about the importance of fluid consumption while exercising, it also opened the floodgates, I guess you could say, to future studies that were funded by the sports drinks industry.
Gatorade is different than your water. Research men created it. Thousands of athletes swear by it. The professional thirst quencher.
So all of a sudden there was this shift from coaches and trainers to start using fluid intake charts and P-color charts to make sure athletes were storing and retaining the optimal fluid level. And some of these were kind of designed or influenced by sports drink companies to advertise and sell products. So there was this overemphasis on making sure you didn't get dehydrated. Unfortunately, shortly after this change is also about the time you started to see the first reports of something called hyponatremia. Now, most runners know how important it is to drink fluids while doing endurance activities and marathons, and you want to make sure you don't get dehydrated. However, drinking too much water in extreme cases can actually kill you. Hyponatremia is caused by drinking too much water and not getting enough salts. It occurs when the levels of sodium in your blood become too low. Salt, or sodium, is an important electrolyte, and it helps balance out the amount of water in your body, and it helps support proper nerves and muscle functions. Now, when sodium levels drop in the fluid outside the cells, water will get in there and it attempts to balance out the concentration of salts right outside the cells, and that abundance of water will actually cause the cell to swell. And while most cells in the body can adapt to this change, the cells in the brain cannot. And this gets really scary because the symptoms that you see from hyponatremia are very similar to those that you see of dehydration. So you're in a marathon and an athlete collapses or starts showing severe signs of dehydration when in reality it's hyponatremia, and if the remedy is to give them more water, you're actually making things worse. So now we have to look back, right? Pre-1960s, drinking water while exercising decreased performance and it was considered bad. Then after 1969, you had this shift to show that not drinking water while running led to dehydration, which is bad. So people then began to drink too much water, try to avoid dehydration, which then led to hyponatremia. So when you think about a marathon, studies have shown that approximately 13% of runners who finish a race suffer from hyponatremia, but an even greater percentage finish the race dehydrated, which means there's really a hydration awareness issue. So in a typical marathon, what they do is they put up water stations all throughout the race, and you probably don't want to go and stop at every single water station and start chugging water because you're trying to avoid or prevent hydration, but you also don't want to skip out on drinking altogether, right? Experts suggest the best method is listening to your body. If you feel thirsty, drink. And I know that some of my other videos in this banned technique series have been about athletes adopting some new techniques such as the spinning javelin throw or the cartwheel shot put, but we can't overlook the importance of hydration as a strategy to improve athletic performance. Now, I really actually want to put this out there to the distance runners out there. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And let me know what your thoughts are about the hydration awareness in the endurance racing community. And I'll provide some links in the description below to some websites or other YouTube videos that they can provide a lot more detailed explanations on dehydration and hyponatremia if you want to learn more.